The ANC caucus is in disagreement. They cannot agree about who should be that candidate. Some of them are said to favor Cope's Colleen Makhubele. Others want Kabelo Gwamanda from AlJama-Ah. Council members are between a rock and a hard place because today is said to be D-Day for the election of the mayor. Gauteng Cocta MEC Mzukumalo says he'll intervene if it does not happen today. My colleague, our reporter Pule Letshwiti-Jones, is in the chambers. He's been following this developing story for us here in the City of Gold, joining us now this hour on Today. Good afternoon, Pule. What a shambles!
Yeah, definitely. It hasn't been quite a smooth process throughout the whole day. After 3 hours of deliberating, Bradan, we finally now have an answer for you. And what we can definitely tell you is that the ANC, the EFF, and the minority bloc opposition parties have decided that they will field in Kabelo Gwamanda as their preferred mayoral candidate. We understand that earlier on there was, of course, discussions as to who will they be backing, particularly from the ANC caucus between the current speaker, Colleen Makhubele, and, of course, Mr. Gwamanda. But now it seems as though this voting process will then get underway. And they will be voting for Mr. Gwamanda because it seems as though the ANC and the EFF, of course, have the numbers. I just had a chat with Funzi Ngobeni as well, just outside, who's the Action SA preferred mayoral candidate. He says despite Action SA not having the numbers, they will still continue to field him as the preferred candidate. Of course, the DA had said that they will be fielding in the former mayor of Johannesburg, Pule Letshwiti-Jones. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But most importantly, of course, here it is about the residents who want just access to basic service delivery. I can also confirm with you that we had spoken to Cope, who say they did, of course, get the mandate that the parties will be voting for Mr. Gwamanda.
Okay, so that's the preferred candidate by the ANC caucus. Just remind our viewers about candidates from other parties like the DA.
Yeah, the DA will still continue to field in Pule Letshwiti-Jones as their preferred candidate. Action SA had, of course, written to the DA to say, come on, let's work together and see if we can field in a candidate from our side, which would be Funzi Ngobeni from Action SA. But, of course, it seems as though the DA was not seeing eye to eye in terms of that request because part and parcel of their rules when it comes to coalition agreements is that where they have the majority, they will field their candidates. But it seems as though that will not be working. You'd remember, Bradan, that in the city of Johannesburg, Action SA and Johannesburg haven't had quite a good relationship. Just a few months ago, Action SA did say that they would be divorcing the DA from their coalition political relationship. And that's what we're seeing here. It's not a very stable coalition front, but the ANC and the EFF, they've formed an alliance with other minority parties, and seemingly so, they will be again fielding a candidate from AlJama-Ah. This, of course, comes in a wake of weeks where the public was fuming and criticized the performance of the former Johannesburg mayor, Thapelo Ahmad, from the very same party. It will be interesting to see how this goes because one understands that this move to field in Mr. Gwamanda did not receive the support of the National Executive Committee. So we're waiting to see what will happen, Britain. But as it stands right now, it seems as though they will be fielding in Mr. Gwamanda from AlJama-Ah.
Okay, thank you very much, Pule Letshwiti-Jones. Inside the chambers of the Johannesburg Council, we await the moment, of course, of the voting. We will bring you up to date as soon as there are any developments. Well, if you've just joined us and there was confusion earlier because the ANC caucus in council did not agree on who to field as a mayoral candidate in this round of voting for a new mayor. And now they have settled on AlJama-Ah's Kabelo Gwamanda. The DA is still proceeding with Dr. Pule Letshwiti-Jones. We'll have to wait and see then the results, but the ANC caucus believes it's got the numbers.